98% of people will work their entire lives and never build real wealth. Not because they're not smart enough, not because they don't work hard enough, but because they're running million-dollar dreams on minimum wage mental software. The difference between the wealthy and everyone else isn't luck, connections, or even talent. It's a mindset. Specifically, it's 10 mental habits that millionaires have programmed into their brains like operating systems. Habits so powerful they turn obstacles into opportunities and setbacks into comebacks. Most people will never discover these habits. They'll continue to wonder why success feels so hard while watching others make it look effortless. But you're about to get the blueprint. In the next few minutes, I'll break down the exact mental habits that separate millionaires from everyone else. These aren't motivational fluff. These are cognitive frameworks backed by research and proven by results. Master them, and you won't just think differently. You'll start producing millionaire-level results. 1. They think in decades, not days. The average person thinks about Friday. Millionaires think about the next 10 years. This is the habit of long-term thinking, and it's the foundation of every fortune ever built. Most people make decisions based on immediate gratification. They choose the comfortable job over the risky startup. They spend money on things that feel good today instead of investing in things that pay off tomorrow. They optimize for the weekend, not the decade. Millionaires do the opposite. They ask themselves one simple question before every major decision. Where will this put me in 10 years? That question changes everything. Suddenly, grinding for a few years to build a business sounds smarter than trading time for a paycheck forever. Suddenly, short-term pain starts looking like long-term gain. Jeff Bezos calls this day one thinking. He built Amazon by making decisions that wouldn't pay off for years, sometimes decades. While competitors optimized for quarterly earnings, Bezos optimized for long-term dominance. Today, Amazon is worth over $1 trillion. Here's how you build this habit. Every morning, write down your 10-year vision. Be specific. Where do you want to be financially? Professionally? Personally? Then ask yourself, what can I do today that my future self will thank me for? Start living in decades. Your bank account will follow. 2. They treat time like money. The broke treat money like it's scarce and time like it's infinite. Millionaires understand the opposite is true. You can always make more money. You can never make more time. That shift in perspective changes how they operate. They ruthlessly protect their time. They say no to meetings that don't matter. They delegate tasks that someone else can do more cheaply. They automate, systematize, and eliminate anything that doesn't move the needle. A study from Harvard Business School found that millionaires value time over money. When given the choice between a higher salary with longer hours or a lower salary with more free time, most chose time. Why? Because they understand that time is the ultimate leverage. With time, you can build multiple income streams. You can think strategically. You can recover from mistakes. You can compound your advantages. Here's the brutal truth. If you're trading time for money, you're playing the wrong game because there's a cap on how much time you have. And once it's gone, it's gone. Break this habit by doing a time audit. Track everything you do for 1 week. Every meeting, every email, every distraction. Then ask, what here could be eliminated, delegated, or automated? Most people waste hours every day on tasks worth $10 an hour while ignoring opportunities worth $1,000 an hour. Millionaires don't make that mistake. Start treating your time like the non-renewable resource it is. 3. They embrace calculated risk. The biggest risk is playing it safe. That's the millionaire mindset in one sentence. Most people avoid risk because they're terrified of failure. They stay in jobs they hate because they're stable. They keep money in savings accounts, earning nothing because stocks feel risky. They never start that business because what if it doesn't work? Millionaires see risk differently. They don't avoid it, they calculate it. They understand that every big win requires stepping into uncertainty. So they analyze the downside, prepare for the worst, and take the leap anyway. Warren Buffett has a famous quote, "Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing." That's the key. Millionaires reduce risk through preparation, education, and strategy. Then they act. Research shows that millionaires are not reckless gamblers. They're calculated risk takers. They do their homework. They stack the odds in their favor. They build safety nets. But then they move. Here's how you build this habit. Pick one calculated risk you've been avoiding: starting a side business, investing in the market, asking for a promotion, or learning a high-income skill. Now do the math. What's the worst that happens? Can you survive it? What's the best that happens? Is it worth the risk? Most of the time, the upside destroys the downside, and the only thing between you and that upside is fear. Feel the fear. Calculate the risk. Take the leap. 4. They obsess over learning. Millionaires read an average of 1 book per week. CEOs spend 5 hours a week on deliberate learning. The wealthy are learning machines, and it's not a hobby, it's a strategy. They understand that knowledge compounds. One idea can save you years. One insight can unlock millions. One mental model can change your entire trajectory. So they invest relentlessly in their minds. Most people stop learning after school. They rely on what they already know and wonder why they're stuck. Millionaires do the opposite. They assume they don't know enough. They read books. They take courses. They hire coaches. They study their industry and adjacent industries. They learn from competitors and from completely different fields. Charlie Munger calls this building a latticework of mental models. The more you know, the better you think. The better you think, the better you decide. The better you decide, the more you win. Here's how you build this habit. Commit to learning for 30 minutes every single day. Read a book. Watch an educational video. Listen to a podcast. Take a course. It doesn't matter what you learn as long as you're growing. Over a year, that's 180 hours of focused learning. That's more than most people do in a decade. Knowledge is the highest return investment you can make. 5. They build systems, not goals. Goals are overrated. Systems are everything. That's a millionaire mindset principle that most people miss. Everyone has goals. Lose weight, make money, build a business. But goals without systems are just wishes. Millionaires don't focus on the goal. They focus on the system that makes the goal inevitable. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, explains it perfectly. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. If your system is weak, your results will be weak. If your system is strong, success becomes automatic. Here's an example. Instead of setting a goal to make $100,000, a millionaire builds a system, a sales process, a content strategy, a network of referrals, a product that scales. The goal is the outcome. The system is the engine. Research shows that people who focus on systems outperform people who focus on goals by a massive margin. Why? Because systems create consistency. Consistency creates compounding. Compounding creates wealth. Here's how you build this habit. Take your biggest goal and reverse engineer the system. What daily actions would make that goal inevitable? What processes need to exist? What habits need to be locked in? Build the system. Trust the system. Let the results take care of themselves. 6. They surround themselves with winners. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. That's not a metaphor, it's neuroscience. Your brain unconsciously absorbs the beliefs, behaviors, and standards of the people around you. If you hang out with broke, negative, low-ambition people, you'll become one. If you surround yourself with driven, successful, high-level thinkers, you'll rise to meet them. Millionaires are obsessive about their circle. They curate their relationships like a portfolio. They cut toxic people. They avoid energy vampires. They seek out mentors, peers, and collaborators who challenge them to level up. A study from Ohio State found that your friends' habits directly influence your habits. If your friends are financially disciplined, you're more likely to be disciplined. If they're reckless, you're more likely to be reckless. Your network isn't just your net worth. It's your behavior blueprint. Here's how you build this habit. Audit your circle. Who are you spending the most time with? Are they pulling you up or dragging you down? Are they inspiring you or draining you? Then make moves. Join communities of high performers. Attend events. Find mentors. Invest in masterminds. It might feel uncomfortable at first. Good. That discomfort is growth. You can't become a millionaire by hanging out with people who think being broke is normal. 7. They see money as a tool, not the goal. This might sound counterintuitive, but millionaires don't obsess over money. They obsess over what money enables: freedom, impact, options, security legacy. Money is just the tool. Most people chase money for the sake of having money. They want to look rich. They want status. They want to prove something. And that mindset keeps them broke. Why? Because they spend everything they make trying to look successful instead of becoming successful. Millionaires flip the script. They see money as fuel, not the destination. It's what allows them to build businesses, create opportunities, support causes, spend time with family, and live life on their terms. That clarity changes how they make decisions. They don't buy things to impress people. They invest in things that create more fuel. Tony Robbins says, "The secret to living is giving." Millionaires understand that money is most powerful when it's in motion, when it's building, when it's serving a purpose bigger than ego. Here's how you build this habit. Define what money means to you, not what society says, what you actually want. Freedom to travel, ability to help your family, time to pursue passion projects, write it down. That's your why. And when your why is clear, the how becomes easier. Stop chasing money for the sake of money. Chase the life money enables. 8. They control their self-talk. The conversation you have with yourself is the most important conversation you'll ever have. And for most people, it's brutal. They talk to themselves like an enemy. Constant criticism, endless doubt, self-sabotage disguised as realism. Millionaires don't allow that. They control their inner dialogue like a performance coach controls an athlete's mindset. They speak to themselves with clarity, confidence, and discipline. Research from the University of Pennsylvania found that positive self-talk improves performance by up to 25%. It's not about lying to yourself. It's about directing your focus toward what's possible instead of what's wrong. Millionaires use affirmations. They rehearse success. They reframe failure as feedback. They talk themselves into action instead of out of it. Here's the shift. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," they say, "I haven't figured this out yet." Instead of, "This is too hard," they say, "This is the challenge that will make me stronger." Instead of, "I'm not good enough," they say, "I'm becoming the person who can handle this." That small shift in language rewires the brain. It turns obstacles into training. It turns fear into fuel. Here's how you build this habit. Pay attention to your self-talk for one day. Notice the patterns. Are you your biggest cheerleader or your worst critic? Then start interrupting negative patterns. Every time you catch yourself in destructive self-talk, stop and rephrase. Make it a game. Over time, your default dialogue will shift. And when your inner voice changes, your outer results follow. 9. They take extreme ownership. Millionaires never play the victim. Ever. They don't blame the economy, their upbringing, their bad luck, or other people. They take full responsibility for everything in their life, good and bad. This is the habit of extreme ownership, and it's one of the most powerful mindset shifts you can make. Jocko Willink, former Navy SEAL and leadership expert, built an entire philosophy around this. When something goes wrong, the first question isn't, "Whose fault is this?" It's, "What could I have done differently?" That mindset eliminates excuses. It puts control back in your hands. And control is power. Most people give away their power by blaming external factors: the government, the market, their boss, their parents. And as long as they're blaming, they're helpless. Because if it's someone else's fault, only someone else can fix it. Millionaires reject that logic. They say, "If it's going to happen, it's up to me." They own their failures. They own their results. And paradoxically, that ownership gives them freedom. Because if everything is on them, then they have the power to change everything. Here's how you build this habit. For 1 week, eliminate blame from your vocabulary. No excuses, no finger pointing, just ownership. When something goes wrong, ask, "What role did I play? What can I control moving forward?" You'll be shocked how fast your life changes when you stop being a victim and start being the one in charge. 10. They act before they're ready. The perfect moment doesn't exist. Millionaires know this, so they don't wait. They act before they're ready. They start the business before they have all the answers. They invest before they feel confident. They take the leap before the path is clear, and that willingness to move in uncertainty is what separates them from everyone else. Most people wait for perfect conditions. They want more money first, more knowledge first, more time first, more certainty first. So they wait, and wait, and wait. And while they're waiting, the opportunity disappears. Millionaires understand that action creates clarity. You don't think your way into success. You act your way into it. Every step forward reveals the next step. Every mistake teaches the next lesson. Every iteration gets you closer. Richard Branson says, if someone offers you an amazing opportunity and you're not sure you can do it, say yes. Then learn how to do it later. That's the millionaire mindset. Bias toward action. Figure it out on the way. Here's how you build this habit. Pick one thing you've been waiting to feel ready for. Starting that project, making that pitch, launching that idea, asking for that opportunity. Now set a deadline and move. Not when you're ready, now. Because the truth is, you'll never feel ready. And the only way to become ready is to start. These 10 mental habits aren't magic, but they are transformational. The difference between where you are now and where you want to be isn't talent. It's not luck. It's a mindset. It's how you think, how you see the world, and how you respond to it. The great news? Mindset is trainable. You can reprogram your mental operating system. You can adopt these millionaire habits starting today. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect circumstances. You just need to start. Pick one habit from this list, just one. Commit to it for the next 30 days. Track it, refine it, master it, then add another. Over time, these habits will stack. They'll compound. And one day, you'll look around and realize you're not just thinking like a millionaire, you're living like one. The mindset comes first, the millions follow. Go build yours.